All right. So this is my 53rd video. As I said before, I'm gonna try to make as many videos as I can, um, and as much insight about my targeting. As I know, time the longer I'm in this program, the harder it is for me to put things together. My brain has been definitely ravaged by these people, and they continuously try to override my thoughts and change reality with the fantasies they've created. Now, I know these people are some of the foulest people, and what they've done to people is ridiculous. But they've created this story, and they've created like reality that is just nonsensical. One thing I just want to start saying is they have the ability to completely create ways of logic and consciousness that are so out of touch with reality that if you're naturally yourself, you will not see things in this almost illogical way. One thing they've been trying to do is make himself create this fantasy where they're not like they're the one who, you know, like my employer did not put me in this program, as if they're, you know, initially they tried to make it sound like it was immigration related, but it is, I know the reality. I was already suspicious when I was working with my old employer that something was up. You know, this suspicion started when I started working there. Matter of fact, you know, this times where I was like, um, you know, like I would record me talking to my then manager because I knew something was going on, right? Actually, I might have a little bit of a sample. Let me see if I can um bring that up. But so I will have like recorded conversations with my manager then, because I was already suspicious that they were doing something, and all started when I was working there. Right before that, there was none. My life was normal, wasn't perfect, but it was, you know, it was as normal as it could, as it gets, you know, as it could get. It was me. I was myself. But things changed when I started working for this employer, because a lot of a lot of a lot of influence in all different entities in the government side. But last night they made me imagine this whole different narration. Oh my goodness, it was so fraudulent. They made me imagine being somebody, like it was just a whole thing they created to put together, made up together, and my brain was actually accepting this as if it's me. Like not accepting, as if it was real, like it would make sense. When it's obvious who put me in this program, it's as obvious as it gets. You know, with me, because they're trying to present themselves as something else. They try to make me believe that I was targeted before I was actually targeted. I know others, they kind of try to confuse people, and they're like, "No, I was me is as clear as ever when I got targeted. Who put me in this program? When it started, like it's very clear. It's no doubt." And I'm thankful for that. It's something I'm so thankful. But these people are trying to create this facade where they're wanting to play this progressive group of feminists, but you know, fighting and avenging women, and avenging the people are hurt. But when in reality, they're a bunch of low life trash that have been torturing women and children, and filled with pedophiles, and do the pedophile type of torture. And so with me, it's just like creating storylines and fantasies and of theirs, like, you know, we're doing this for that, and then try to create versions of reality that they want to create. This morning, there's this thing that just happened. It was just as ridiculous as it gets. It, I was this they make me identify to other people. They want me to identify with them. They make me look at their story, their whatever they've done, and try to make me and take whatever they've done as if it's me. There's this man, you know, I'm not sure if it's true or not, but there's allegations or there's something. I'm not 100% sure that he did something to an underage girl where he drove her home. He while he was driving her, he did something to her in the car. I don't know, and it was like doing things to her inappropriate. And then when he got to the home, he strangled this girl, and then he tried to rape her. I don't know if she's unconscious because he strangled her or something like that, but he tried to rape her and all that. Now, with me, they're trying to make me imagine that storyline, right, in different fashion. So I used to go to a club when I was young, between 18 to 22. After 22, I maybe once went there once or twice, but really it's just 18 and 22. And the club was a club where, it was the only club in the city, in the area I was in, is in the suburbs. But to go in that club, you could be 17. And I used to go there. The earliest I went there was when I was 18. There's a place where there's bars and you can drink, and to be that, you have to be 21. Now I'll go to that club. I went to that club when I was from 18 to 22, and maybe once or twice when I was 23, but it's really 18 to 22. And of course, I've done some silly, dumb things, and immaturity was really high at the time. But I did some stupid things. But they are trying to make me imagine this storyline, me doing something of that nature to a 17-year-old girl. This is what they create. This is imaginations. They have the ability to make you imagine stories in a version that is so like non-reality. It's like, oh, you remember what, at that club? How old was this person? What? They try to like find things, just try to make me accept this persona they've created of this man that did something to this girl. She was 17, he was 23 years old, and so they're trying to make me imagine, like, oh, remember when you went to the club, to that club when you like, at that point, I will go to that club between 18 and 22. After that, I maybe went there once or twice. So really, I don't even consider me my 23s going there. It was really 18 and 22. And they're like, no, but maybe that one time when you were 23, this happened. Like, it's just, listen, you just have to create a storyline. You have to make things happen, like imagined in my brain. And they will do like things where they'll do noise campaign, they'll buzz, they'll do all these things. Now, listen, I'm not perfect. There's things I've done that's stupid. Obviously, it's never going to be to that level. But I've done some silly in childlike things and mature things, and when I was at that club between 18 and 22. But they want me to imagine these versions, this reality. Now, I know who these people are, right? Let me give you an example, a simple, of what these people and what they've done and what they do. Really, this is not me speaking it. This is the things they do. Please listen to this.
Perverted, involving many combinations of sensory and motor manipulation of my mind and body and of the people around me. This includes many different types of zaps to varying degrees to the genitals, butt, anus, and the entire pelvic area. This also includes many kinds of movements, such as the rocking, swaying, jolting, vibrating, and shaking of my entire body or various body parts, specifically in a sexual way. The severe vibration is a highly noxious stimuli and is very intolerable. They sometimes do pulses or throbbing sensations on the genitals too, etc.
So this is the things these people are involved in. They do this to women, and so then for me, they have to talk about me at the club at 18 and 22, trying to push it to 23 to create this something else, trying to make their a reality they've created with just storylines they put together, just in my head, just really imagine, just make me imagine that, and you go with this. Well, these things,
to my abdomen, to my vaginal area, and to my anal area.
those are the radiations that these women have to deal with, and it's not only women, but even children. But
vibrate. I vibrate. I can barely hold a piece of paper without quivering. Does that answer bouncing out of my body? I can't even describe it. I get electric shock of my rectum.
this is the people. Me is just what they can make me imagine. The what if, like, it's just like creations. Now, I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of immature things in my life, right? I'm not perfect. I know my real imperfections, and they're just trying to paint me as something else, as a as a person who just harmed kids and stuff, as a pedophile. But listen to this trash. This
threaten me with.
kids.
I also observed her
This is a
gasping for
7 year
air a
old.
few times in the same way that I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister, who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, ow. I observed this at least.
These are the people who are doing their best to make you accept the storylines they've put together, using other people's life to make you accept this. This is a man who did something when he was 23 to a 17-year-old, choked her, raped her, or tried to rape her while he was choking her. And they want me to imagine this story and try to create a story like me at the club, in this club between 18 and 22. Try to make me as maybe you were 23, and then try to make me imagine how those like storylines. You have people screaming in it. So, okay, whatever I'm gonna endure, I just can never forget what these people are. They can make you think and make yourself vilified to that extent. Well, in reality, these people have done some nasty, they're terrible things to children and women of all ages. And they want you to accept. And it's funny, like it's not fair because they want me to be like, oh no, you know what, you're not doing something to like. No, it's fair because you guys are the people hurting, harming children and women. Well, me, you're trying to create a storyline that it makes no sense, that is based on somebody's life, and you try to implement onto me. You have to create a story. You have to make a story. You have to make yourself like you delude themselves. So reality will never, and they try to intimidate me and use fear tactic and torture. Listen, I know I'm gonna go through some horrible things, but one thing is for sure, I'm glad I never had to live the life that these people live. They have to come up with a storyline. It creates reality, and I'm not letting them do it. I'm not letting them doing it. Like they're not gonna live this fantasy. These things that you're making me imagine at the club, you're having to make me imagine this to be in the narration that you want instead of putting it in the right perspective. You use the way I feel about this man when he was 23 doing these things to this 17-year-old girl to make me imagine me being that man. It's crazy. Instead of looking at things in the right perspective, me at 18, between 18 and 22, going to a club, doing some stupid, immature things. It's idiotic. Not perfect, but idiotic, stupid. There's no woman who's gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, David did this person this they did this to me." There's no. I'll never let them live the fantasy. So to all my target individuals, just be strong. Just know that you gotta understand that that you know you gotta be strong. They can make you be something else. They can make you imagine. Right now in my head, they're making me imagine a 23-year-old me doing something of that nature to this to a 17-year-old. That is it true? No, it's what they're trying to make put together. Make me imagine. Storyline, imagination. Like I said, they've been trying to make me imagine that some other people are the reason why I'm in this program. You know how much they have to work in my brain to create these inventions? It's obvious. I'm telling you, it is as obvious as it gets who put me in this program. It's as obvious. They're trying to create loop and go around and just try to make, okay, remember that, remember that. It's like, no, stop it. Stop. Don't even waste your time. The people where I used to work for, the actual my only real employers, are responsible for me being in this program. Now, whatever happens to this point, however you try to distance yourself from this reality, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna let you do that. And the reason why they don't want to 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 um associate with them is because they might have been donors for this.
That Moore was also banned from the YMCA for his inappropriate behavior of soliciting sex from young girls. And don't forget, he did that while he was assistant DA, the assistant DA.
So you understand why they want to distance themselves from who actually put me in this program. You see how they try to project reality? For me, they have to create an imagination of that sort. This real this and they, it doesn't end there. These people are, there's just so much going on. So much. So as they do these things to me, as they do this thing to me, sorry, I'm gonna try to, as they do this thing to me, um, they want me to just let them live their fantasy. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I'm not. There's even like, listen to how obvious things are. I'm gonna bring a simple, and to all my target individual, understand who is behind this.
Chances are you've come across.
Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna bring this up.
Ali, we're told, and when I was put through recruitment into the Intel community,
Listen to
you're put
this.
through polygraphs, you're put through a rigorous selection process. Why aren't these people weeded out? Why are so many pedophiles allowed to be given top level security clearance? Remember, these aren't just people walking in off the street and saying, hey, can I get hired? Can I get a job? You're put through an extremely rigorous background check screening process. It's called an SSBI, single scope background investigation. There are people, they interview you, they interview your family, they interview your contacts, they go through your online footprint, they go through everything. So why is it that when they're going through these footprints, they're not checking these digital footprints, they're not checking for so many pedophiles getting through their ranks? If it were up to me, you need to go into Congress, and Congress needs to launch a brand new church committee, number one, to talk about domestic surveillance operations, but number two, to ask the question, why are there so many pedophiles sitting behind those computer screens within the walls of Langley, within the Pentagon, and throughout the broader intelligence community?
What does it mean? And as I'm saying that, they're trying to talk about me 18 and 22 going to the club, because we used to go, me and my best friend in college, we used to go there almost every weekend. It was the only place there. It was free if you went there before time, and that's where everybody around my age group would go. Well, they try to block out this. They are projecting reality. They are creating their fantasies, their wishful dreams onto you. And this are my neighbors here trying to make me accept it. You are there. That's the job. Now listen, horrible things are gonna happen to me. I understand, but I know why, and I'll never subscribe to these storylines they've created.